You're at the airport, looking out the window, and you see that perfect synchronization out on the tarmac. Everything looks under control because there are lines, lights, and signals guiding every move. But the moment that plane takes off and climbs through the clouds, it enters a completely different world, a place with no lanes, no traffic lights, no stop signs. Now really think about that. At this exact moment, there are more than 10,000 planes crossing the sky at 560 miles an hour in opposite directions, and sometimes just a few hundred yards apart. So if our highways, with all the rules we've got, still see thousands of accidents every day, how is it possible that up there, the sky isn't just total chaos, metal slamming into metal? And the truth is, there's a reason for that. A reason that's going to completely change how you see the sky after this video. A system so precise that a mid-air collision between two planes is almost mathematically impossible. Welcome to the channel Zero Turbulence. Here, we answer the questions everyone has about aviation, but nobody dares to ask. Go ahead and hit like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Buckle up, we're taking off together. Let's get right into it, because this is where things really get interesting. Planes don't pick their altitude at random. There's a system called RVSM, Reduced Vertical Separation Minima. Back in the day, altimeter technology wasn't precise enough, which meant planes had to keep a huge distance between each other. Today, thanks to precision engineering, the sky is divided into layers just 1,000 feet apart. So how do we decide who flies at which layer? There's a mathematical rule based on heading. When a plane is flying eastbound, meaning a heading between 0 and 179 degrees, it always flies at odd altitudes, like 31,000, 33,000, or 35,000 feet. And if it's headed westbound, between 180 and 359 degrees, it uses even altitudes, like 32,000, 34,000, or 36,000 feet. That guarantees two planes flying in opposite directions always have at least 1,000 feet of vertical airspace between them. It's a built-in safety wall that works automatically everywhere on the planet. On top of that 1,000-foot vertical separation, controllers also maintain a standard horizontal distance of 5 nautical miles, about 5.75 miles. That margin can be reduced to 3 nautical miles during final approach to the runway. Planes don't just fly in a straight line at random, either. The sky is full of routes called airways, connected by checkpoints called waypoints. When you look at flight radar, those little icons are following a path plotted with surgical precision. Every waypoint has a 5-letter name. Thanks to air navigation, RNAV modern aircraft use GPS satellites and inertial systems to know their position with an incredibly small margin of error. That makes traffic predictable, and in aviation, predictable means safe. The system isn't purely automatic, though it also depends on air traffic controllers. The sky is divided into puzzle pieces called sectors. No single controller manages the whole sky. Each one handles a specific chunk of airspace. When a plane leaves one controller's jurisdiction, there's an electronic handoff to the next sector. That chain of handoffs makes sure no plane ever falls off the radar, so to speak. The controller manages speeds and spacing so planes arrive at the airport in a perfect line. And here's a critical detail: language. How does a Japanese pilot and a Brazilian controller understand each other? Through aviation English. It's not conversational English, it's standardized phraseology, where every single word has one exact meaning. There's something called the readback. The controller gives an instruction, and the pilot has to repeat it back, word for word. If there's even the slightest mistake, it gets corrected immediately. So how does the controller actually know where the plane is? Traditionally, it relied on primary radar, which bounces radio waves off the fuselage. Today, the star of the show is ADS-B, Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast. With this system, the plane calculates its own position via GPS and broadcasts it to ground stations and other aircraft every single second. That lets controllers see traffic with incredible smoothness and precision, cutting out the lag from old radar systems that took several seconds just to complete one sweep. Now, the system doesn't just know where a plane is, it knows which way it's about to turn and exactly how fast it's climbing. That level of total transparency is exactly what allows separation distances to be safely reduced at the busiest, most congested airports. And that's not all. Over the North Atlantic, the busiest stretch of airspace in the world, there's no ground-based radar. To avoid collisions, they use the NAT tracks, North Atlantic tracks dynamic highways in the sky that get redrawn every 24 hours based on the jet stream, those fast-moving air currents. Planes enter these tracks with strict time-based spacing and report their position by satellite. It's precision logistics, with planes moving in perfectly coordinated blocks. Another question you might be asking, what about military aircraft? Even though they have their own reserve training zones, when they fly through civilian airspace, they have to follow the exact same rules as an Airbus or a Boeing. They have to keep their transponder on, communicate with civilian controllers, and stick to RVSM altitudes. The system covers everyone, from a tiny Cessna all the way up to an F-18 fighter jet, all under the same safety umbrella. And if we got to some extreme worst-case scenario where everything failed, the controller made a mistake, the pilot got distracted, that's where TCAS kicks in, the traffic collision avoidance system, the onboard anti-collision system built into the plane. This system doesn't rely on humans or anything on the ground at all. It's a direct conversation between the plane's computers. If they detect an imminent collision, the computers instantly negotiate with each other. One plane gets told to climb, and the other gets told to descend. There's one unbreakable international rule. The pilot must always obey TCAS over a human controller. Machines process the geometry of danger way faster than any person ever could. But here's the thing, collisions aren't the only risk. A massive plane leaves behind violent swirls of air called wake turbulence. Those can flip a smaller plane flying miles behind it. That's why the system also separates planes by time and horizontal distance. Controllers wait for the air to settle before clearing the next plane for takeoff. It's one more layer of safety that keeps the sky navigable. Even when the sky gets packed, the system has built-in safety valves. When an airport gets overloaded, controllers use what's called holding patterns. These are oval-shaped tracks in the sky, where planes circle at different altitudes while they wait their turn to land. It's basically a perfectly stacked waiting tower, where every plane has its own secured floor, making sure that even during heavy traffic, nobody gets any closer than they need to. And finally, if the technology fails, if a plane loses its radio or its power aviation, falls back on its core religion, predictability, there's a lost communications protocol. The pilot sticks exactly to their original flight plan, and the controller, seeing that the plane isn't responding but is still following its expected route, simply clears the way for it. Up in the air, following the rules is the best way to ask for help. One last really important point. What actually prevents collisions is something called the Swiss cheese model. Every safety measure is a slice of cheese, and the holes represent potential weak points. But when you stack a bunch of slices together, the holes don't line up. Any error that slips through one layer gets caught by the next. Today, for a collision to actually happen, the altimeters, the flight plans, the controller, standardized language, radar, and TCAS would all have to fail at the exact same time. The odds of that are something like 1 in several billion. In aviation, safety is the single most important thing there is. And that's exactly why this invisible but incredibly effective system works so well. Every layer of protection makes up for the potential gaps in the others. So the next time you look up and see a plane crossing the sky, you'll know that behind that silent flight path is one of the most precise choreographies ever designed by humans. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. And one last thing before you go honestly. Did you think the sky was this precisely calculated? Tell me in the comments what surprised you the most in this video. And if you've got a question about aviation, ask away. It might just become the channel's next video. If you enjoyed this, a like takes 2 seconds and really helps get the channel out there. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, now's the time so you don't miss a single takeoff. Thanks so much, and see you very soon on Zero Turbulence.